We've got a major update on William Regal's AEW contract. A title match has been announced for tomorrow's AEW Rampage, and Ric Flair is teasing one last match. Stay tuned for the news. Now, it's been the talk of the wrestling world this week because William Regal was attacked last night on Dynamite by
He's
MJF.
had a bleed on the brain, Fraser.
He has. He's
two bleeds on the brain.
He's been whacked. And he was lying, unconscious and stretchered out of Dynamite.
The image was a bit like Peter Griffin from Family Guy after he fell down the stairs.
I wish he'd done that thing Peter Griffin does where he holds his knee going... Well, he was stretched out of Dynamite, and he could be stretched out of AEW because we've got an update on his AEW contract from PW Insider. They're saying all signs are that William Regal will be World Wrestling Entertainment bound shortly, so he could be going to WWE. Although we have heard, this is them saying this now, heard nothing official from the company. There have been rumblings within WWE off late about Regal returning in a backstage role. That would mean Regal exiting AEW, where it certainly, I think it appeared that he was written out of TV. What do you think?
Well, that's what we did this morning. We talked about it, how interesting it was to see him hitting the ground the way he did amid these rumours. Now, we're not saying that the rumours caused it, but we were just speculative this morning about how it's interesting with all this conversation about William Regal's contract status that he was basically taken out of the picture by MJF.
Well, we've got a further update with Sean Ross Sapp taking to Twitter not too long ago now, saying he'd heard that William Regal's deal is up in December. Now, if I'm right in saying this is December 1st, Tom.
It is indeed.
It says December 1st. So it looks like he will be out of contract fairly soon.
This comes after some back and forth from numerous sources about the length of William Regal's contract. Originally, Dave Meltzer said it was a year. He corrected himself and changed it to 3. This morning, we were talking about how even if it's a 3-year contract, if Triple H is, and this is speculatory on my part, if Triple H was going to buy anybody out of their AEW contract, it would probably be his mate Willie Regal.
Yeah, it's going to be high up on his list, isn't it?
Yeah, that's some Blue Bloodline stuff right there.
And on the Wrestling Observer Radio this morning as well, Dave Meltzer kind of made a comment about William Regal, saying it'd be weird to put so much heat on a guy who is leaving, which adds even more credence to the fact that this could be the last we see of William Regal in AEW.
It could very well be. I think that the schedule that WWE would want to cut for him, I feel, would probably be more in keeping with what Regal wants to do. Obviously, he's traveling from town to town with AEW at the moment. Nice office job in Florida might suit him quite nicely. Now, again, at time of recording, we haven't heard anything from WWE or AEW, but PW Insider, speaking with their sources, have said something that suggests that William Regal's on his way out. Wrestling Observer have said words that are familiar, and Sean Ross Sapp, with this quote retweet for Jeremy Lambert, has said something very similar as well, and that's 3 quite strong sources there.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised. I think we all know William Regal was very close with Triple H. Triple H really sees him very highly. He led NXT for quite a long time. Although, and as much as you're saying he might see the appeal of going back to NXT, I could see Triple H giving him a job on the main roster.
I think a behind the scenes role as talent recruitment at the side of Triple H seems absolutely perfect for William Regal. I think the moment that Triple H took control, there was a sadness where we were like, if only Regal could have stayed in that role just a little bit longer.
Triple H is wearing many hats right now. He's an executive vice president. He's the head of talent relations. He's head of creative. William Regal would be a good fit for talent relations.
That's one hat
head of talent
less.
relations. Would make it certainly easy for Triple H, but it's someone who has a sort of same vision as him. But at the same time, I could see him wanting to go back to NXT and continue his work there.
We'll see. Obviously, when we know more, you'll know more.
Yeah, of course. Well, we're going to keep it on the topic of AEW just now, because what was announced for this week's Rampage?
Tomorrow night we're getting an AEW All-Atlantic Championship match. Orange Cassidy puts it up against QT Marshall. There have been some back and forth between the Nightmare Factory and the Best Friends for quite some time, and here we go. Bunch of wrestlers around the ring, pinfall to finish. I miss the glory days of the lumberjack match where everybody had on plaid
Yep.
And that was a good time.
Yeah,
One of the
yeah.
early lumberjack matches in WWF where everybody had
I
themselves.
do like a plaid shirt.
Yeah, they all had their
Oh.
yeah. That's it. That's it. You
Yeah.
like that's your thing, isn't it?
Lumberjacks.
It's your vibe. But that's obviously already been taped. Not going to give you any spoilers in this video. I know sometimes we like to furnish you with a couple of spoilers. Don't worry if you want to watch it as it's meant to be observed. We ain't going to spoil anything for you. But also tomorrow night, the Acclaimed are going to reveal their next AEW Tag Team Championship challengers. There's quite a few in the mix at the moment they could choose from. Soraya's having a sit-down interview with Renee Paquette, and Private Party are facing Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. Jay and Jeff getting amongst it.
It feels like TNA's heyday back. You know, they've got the prime TNA in the ring again.
Oh, dear, what a
I'm
joy.
excited to see who the Acclaim go up against. For me, I've not seen the results. I don't know what's going to happen, but I want to see the Acclaimed and FTR at some point in the future. So that's my hope. That is my hope for that.
You
So
mentioned
stay
mentioned TNA and the glory days of TNA. What have Fightful Select said about one of the founding members of the Main Event Mafia?
Well, they said we've been asked within WWE, but they haven't been told of any inquiries for Booker T to wrestle, despite his returns to the ring. Now, that doesn't mean there hasn't been any, but the several times they've asked, they've been told they didn't hear anything. I feel he might get a spot in the Rumble.
I think so. I mean, he's wrestling this month for Reality of Wrestling, the company that he works
owns,
with.
yeah.
And so he's involved in the tag team title situation there. So he's keen to kind of find his sea legs again. I'd love to see him pop up in the Rumble.
It'd be a fun spot. I remember marking out the 2011 Rumble where he popped up. I'm like, oh my God, he was in TNA. Oh my God, it's TNA's
What are
Booker
you
T.
doing here?
Yeah, it'd be fun. It'd be fun to see him back in the ring. Obviously, I don't think an extended run is needed for Booker T.
No.
I think he fits quite nicely on NXT's commentary spot right now, especially when Dijak came back. Who? Brilliant spot from him there. But going from one wrestler who could be getting back in the ring to another, Ric Flair. Now, he had his last match not that long ago in summer.
There's a picture. Can we mention the
picture
work
there.
chat? That was the picture that's been shared on a few news articles about Ric Flair's last match.
Yep.
Big shout to Jack Atkins, the rambunctious Jackie Orlando from Cultaholic.com, who said that Ric Flair looks like Grimace.
Does still a little bit. It's great. He does look a bit like Grimace. Well, Grimace was speaking on To Be the Man, talked about Ricky Steamboat's retirement match, which led to a reveal about his current in-ring status. He said, when I spoke to him, we were trying to get him to work with us. He indicated to me back then that he didn't think health-wise he'd be ready to go. It's what makes him feel good. Like I say about myself, I could wrestle again right now too.
There's the line.
And I'd be a lot better than I was in the last match, because when you're gone away so long, you forget about little things that will make a difference. I worry that if he steps in the ring...
No, I think there's a point to be made there. There's little things that you miss, you forget about when you wrestle, like, how to hook the arm properly, how to come down on your leg, how to not nearly die.
That's it.
Little things that you forget.
Small little things.
After a while.
But he said, I was training so hard, I forgot the part about the little things. I think he should go and do what he wants to do, speaking about Ricky Steamboat. But interestingly, he also said that about the Royal Rumble, he said earlier on that he's not invited to the Rumble. That was a mix-up, a misunderstanding, but he's invited to the 30th anniversary of Raw. Right. But he said, if WWE wants me in the Rumble, I'll chuck the gear on. Oh God,
Rick, man.
Please don't do it to us.
Although, right, I know I give a little bit, we have a little bit of fun at the expense of Ric Flair and his last match. And we did a live stream for it, Adam and I. There'd be a pop if he came out in the Rumble.
Yeah, there would be.
Undeniable pop.
There'd be a lot of people grimacing. But like, if he enters the Rumble, it would be monumental. Yeah, he's not going to win it, is he?
How dare you?
Is he going to win it?
How dare you?
Triple H giving it a win at one of his boys.
If he entered in 2022, the 20th anniversary. Hang on. The 30th anniversary.
30th anniversary.
Oh God, the 90s was 30 years ago. Oh,
I would really worry for his health if he entered the Rumble.
30th anniversary of him winning the whole thing.
Enter at one. Win the whole thing. Ric Flair winning the Royal Rumble 2023. No, I don't want to see him back in the ring. I'd happily have the last match be the end of his in-ring career. What do you think?
I think this is a nice place to end the news.
I believe so. Well, join me at 6 p.m. tonight on Twitch.
It's a Twitch night, isn't it?
I'm switched with Sam, so join me at 6
Twitch?
p.m. to play some SpongeBob. So we'll see you.
What's made you play
See then.
SpongeBob?
The fans voted for it.
Nice.
The nice people at home voted to play SpongeBob. So thank you. It's great fun. So we will see you at 6. I mean, have you got anything plugged, Tom?
Go and watch Fraser at 6. Yeah. I'll putting my Christmas tree up tonight. I won't be live streaming it, but I'll be watching SpongeBob Fraser Pants.
See you then.